Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions.
That cover's so awesome.
This is Mr. Chris Claremont, a legend.
Melanie goes,
Tired.
what's going on, all you Minties? Uncanny Omar here from Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions. And join me today as I go over my top 10 recommended reads, must-buys, essential reads for the month of September of 2023. So join me. And welcome back, everybody. Now, before getting started, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications. That lets you know when our videos are going live. So today I'm going to be talking about the top 10 list of books that I'm suggesting for you all, really for myself. Recommended. Do not miss these type of stories because they're in different editions, or for the first time they're being collected, or because I'm really curious about some of these. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Kicking off the list is Batman Under the Red Hood, the deluxe edition. And let me tell you something. Mark Silvestri drawing Batman in deluxe edition, this came close, but I had to go with this story because I've read it. It's one of my favorite Batman stories. And the fact that they're releasing it as a deluxe edition makes me so happy. Now, the thing to keep in mind is this is 544 pages and retails for $49.99, and it is a deluxe hardcover. But we've had a previous edition of this released that is 384 pages. So I'm really not sure what the additional content's going to be. And it makes it really difficult because DC doesn't let you know what's collected in here. But it should have, at the very least, Batman 635 to 641, 645 to 650, and Annual 25, which shows the origins of how the Red Hood became the Red Hood. I'm not going to spoil who's under the Red Hood because, well, that's the title of the book. But we have done an old reader, new reader on this if you want to check that out. So very, very much looking forward to that. Boy, I have a lot of Batman on this list. But next up on the list is the Batman Adventures Omnibus. I have been wanting this for so many years. And when I announced the animated series, X-Men, the animated series adaptation, I thought, oh, DC, you need to listen up. You need to release Batman, the animated series comics. So collecting the Batman Adventures 1 through 36, the Batman Adventures Annual number 1, Annual number 2, the Holiday Special number 1, and Mad Love number 1. Now, there is a Mad Love Deluxe Edition that has all the extra stories. Those are not in here. It just has the Mad Love one-shot, and then stories from Batman Black and White Omnibus. Now, if you're a fan of the Batman Beyond, that's not getting an omnibus, but it is getting a compendium. And this collects stories in here by, of course, Paul Dini and Kelly Puckett, just to name a few. This one is 1,192 pages, $150. The Complete Insufferable by Mark Waid. I have to suggest this one because I suggested Irredeemable, and Irredeemable is one of the best stories, and I'll be doing an overview of this one when it comes out. But this is the sister title to Irredeemable. At the same time Irredeemable was going on, Mark Waid decided to start this particular title. So this collects Insufferable 1 through 8, On the Road 1 through 6, and Home Field Advantage 1 through 4. So those miniseries are all collected in one big book. And this is the story from the opposite side of what was going on in Irredeemable. This is the story that is kind of the anti-Plutonian. So it's pretty much a villain going good, and about a sidekick that grows up to become an egomaniac. But you can find out for yourself when you read it. I'm definitely recommending it. I know we're going to get hardcovers sometime, but sometimes later this year, I think, is when we're going to get it. But this one's $39.99, and you know, not everybody gets hardcovers. I get it, but do not miss out on it. Oh, of course I was going to recommend this one. Wolverine Omnibus Volume 4, baby! It's actually back here. I'm doing an overview on Monday for it. Oh my gosh, absolutely. This one comes out on September, I believe this is the 12th or the 13th, depending on where you get your books. 3 different covers. Collecting Wolverine 60 through 75, Inner Fury, The Killing, Global Jeopardy, Wolverine and the Punisher, Damaging, Uncanny Omar talk pretty one day, Damaging Evidence 1 through 3, Sabretooth, yes! I love that story by Larry Hama, 1 through 4, and Mark Teixeira doing the artwork. Spider-Man, Punisher, Sabretooth, Designer Jeans, X-Men 25. That's the Fatal Attractions, of course. Part 1, and then, well, not part 1. It's really part 5, and then part 6 is... But you only need to read 2 stories to really understand what's going on. And then material for Marvel Comics Presents 109 and 142, and the Marvel Holiday Special number 2. I've announced the Volume 5. It's coming in 2024, but this makes me happy that we're going to get Wolverine. And the next one's going to be difficult to talk about because it's not one of my favorite eras. Actually, 6 is where I stopped reading comics, and part of the reason was what they did to Wolverine. But I'm an idiot for these things. I have to have them, and it's my favorite character in oversized format. You damn right I'm going to get it. So even when we get the no-nose era, which we get a little bit in that in 5. And for the people that have read it, you know what I'm talking about. This one does have some changes because of everything that happens at the end of 75. But the next book will really show the impact of issue 75 and what those changes were. But yes, wonderful artwork in here by Dwayne Turner, Mark Teixeira, and coming in toward the tail end is Adam Kubert. Oh yeah. And Larry Hama's still kicking it. Godzilla by James Stokoe, the deluxe edition. So this collects the amazingly illustrated issue of the series Godzilla in Hell as he battles the first layer of Hell. And this one's 168 pages, $39.99. But what I was going to say is that it's not in deluxe edition, unfortunately. It's a standard size hardcover. So that is something to keep in mind. I'm still excited for it. I still have the Godzilla, the Half Century War, the hardcover of that, and this will go nicely with it. But oh my gosh, can James Stokoe draw some kaiju? So if you've been a fan of Godzilla, if you're a fan of James Stokoe, this is the one to pick up. Hulk Maestro by Peter David Omnibus. Of course I'm recommending this one. First of all, it kicks off with the first 2 issues of the Future Imperfect issues with George Perez, because that's how you kick it off. I love the way that this one is mapped. So let's talk, because I've read it already. My overview will be out a week before this comes out. This collects Hulk Future Imperfect 1 and 2, Incredible Hulk 460 to 461, Marvel, Captain Marvel 27 through 30, Spider-Man 2099 9 through 10, Future Imperfect 1 through 5. Now that's the miniseries, not the 2 shots. Maestro 1 through 5, Maestro War and Pax 1 through 5, Maestro World War M 1 through 5, Exile 79 through 80, Abominations, that's never been collected in anything, 1 through 3, and then material from Hulk Broken Worlds 1 and Secret Wars Battle World 4. So, if you know, I'm not going to spoil who the character of Maestro is, but if you know who that character is, the miniseries lead into that story. So it's kind of like Maestro in the making is the way that this is written. And you're probably wondering, well, why the heck is Future Imperfect 1 and 2 in there? Because that's when he first made his first appearance. And when you have George Perez on artwork, that's how you kick it off. You don't put that at the end. You put that at the beginning, and then you tell the story how Maestro came about. That's the way I would have done it, and that's the way this omnibus is mapped. With all the exiles and stuff later on after the miniseries. But absolutely recommending this one. 960 pages, $125. DRCL Midnight Children hardcover volume 1. Now, I'm sure that's Dracula Midnight Children, but it's hashtag Dracula. I saw some of the interior artwork here, and I was like, I don't know what this is. But I saw it when it was originally released in Japan. And I was really happy when I found out that Viz was publishing it here in America. But this is by Shinichi Sakamoto. And it does start off with some of the artwork that I've seen on the Demeter, right? So you have maybe Dracula and a plague of vampires on this boat that are coming towards Whitby Harbor. But there are some kids at Whitby School. So that's all I know about it. I know it's also for mature audiences, but very excited for that book. That's been on my radar for a few years now since I saw the Japanese art. Blue Book Volume 1, 1961. This is by James Tynion and Michael Avon Oeming teaming up for the first time. Published by Dark Horse Comics. This is a trade paperback, 136 pages, but it collects the first 5 issues. It's a non-fiction comic book experience depicting true stories of UFO abductions. Say no more. That, to me, I love those stories. I think I've shared it on my Saturday streams, but I saw a UFO when I was a kid with my brother and a bunch of friends at a birthday party. And if you ever want to know the rest of that story, come back to the Saturday Q&As, and I'll be happy to share that if you all ask. I don't mind. So aliens and UFOs have always intrigued me. So, and you have James Tynion IV and Michael Avon Oeming teaming up together on a book. Hell yes, I'm in. The Avengers Omnibus Volume 5. So this collects Avengers 120 to 149, Giant Size Avengers 1 through 4, Captain Marvel 33, Fantastic Four 150, and material from Foom 6 and 7 and 12. Now we're getting into the Steve Englehart era, but also the George Perez era too. There's a lot of artwork in here from our pal Sal Buscema and some art by Gil Kane. And none of this has been collected in omnibus format before. So I'm including that issue of the Fantastic Four. Maybe one day we'll get Fantastic Four Omnibus Volume 5. Hopefully. But very excited for this one to come out. 856 pages, $100. Both covers will be available the same day. And last but certainly not least, not in the shape of a chainsaw, but hey, what are you going to do? Chainsaw Man Box Set 1. So it is 1 because it's not finished yet. The series is still ongoing. And there are 11 volumes that are collected in here. I don't know if they're doing any more of those 26 volumes or 24 volume box sets. At least Viz. They seem to take some of these most popular series and make a smaller box set out of like 10 or 11 volumes. Oh, no, they are doing the Promised Neverland. So they are doing that. So I take it back. They're not all small box sets, but this one is $99.99. It is a crazy story about, you guessed it, a young man that pulls on his string and turns his arms and his head into chainsaws. And it's ridiculous. My daughter and I love this series, and it comes with a double-sided full-color poster. Now, if you're interested in purchasing any of these books I mentioned on the list, check out our sponsors.
If you're in Europe and you're interested in buying these books, definitely check out Walt's Comic Shop in Berlin, Germany. They have the cheapest pre-order prices, flat shipping rate of €12 for all EU countries, emails answered within 24 hours, waltzcomicshop.com, and you can use the code nearmintcondition at checkout and get free shipping for all EU countries with your first order over €40. That's Walt's Comic Shop, your reliable source for omnis and premium collected editions in Europe. Ding!
CheapGraphicNovels.com, your online home for graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off cover price. They have excellent shipping and prompt and helpful service. Check out their bargain deals for up to 90% off cover price. And don't forget, the CGN also takes pre-orders. That way you don't miss out on the hottest releases. And they are currently running a special promotion for you Minties. If you're a first-time customer, after receiving your order confirmation email, reply back to that email and let them know Near Mint Condition sent you their way. They will then apply a free shipping promotional credit to your next order in the US. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discount, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. And that was my top 10 books for the month of September of 2023. Let me know in the comments down below what your top 10 would look like, what you recommend, what from this list you agree with, what you're like, are you crazy? Why would you even put that there? I would love to know all those comments down below. If you have any questions, leave them down below. Smash that like button, check out our Patreon and Spreadshop, amazing ways to support the channel if you can do so. Everyone stay healthy and safe out there. Much love.